This is the 2022 one-year reading for gold. It's currently January 16th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Under all circumstances, I thank you and let me take a great one. I just sorted this deck. Every now and again I make sure all the cards are in there, you know, just to make sure. So I'm going to shuffle a little extra right now. All right, the overall behavior and theme for gold is going to be a big push up, a breakout. There's a breakout in gold this in 2022. Significant push to the upside, breaking out. Oh my God, and it comes on very suddenly, fast and suddenly. Big, fast, sudden move higher with a breakout. Behavior around the high, we're going to have a big, sudden move higher within a period of volatility that marks the end of the period of volatility. That may or may not be this move higher, we'll have to see. And behavior around the low, okay, so that's a deep decline after reaching a resistance level, a significant resistance level. All right, each of these four clusters that I'm doing are going to be basically the same setup. So this is early January, late January, January's high, January's low. Man, this Emperor card keeps standing out. On everything I do, the Emperor card's been standing out. Everything for 2022 so far. I think that there's definitely something very significant that's going to happen with the president this year. Not necessarily a good thing. In any case, this is January's high, low, early January, late January, right? Same thing goes for February. Early, late, high, low, right? March, same thing. Early, late, high, low. April, looks like this could be the breakout right here, or at least one breakout. There could be more than one. We'll have to see. Okay, so far we have president or a male leader of nations is highlighted around the high for January for gold. Sharp decline throughout January, off of a significant peak right down to a low for January. So the low in January forms from a sharp decline. So we had a peak that went through a resistance level, stayed there briefly, then came back down and sold off into the end of January. We have some some profit taking, so there may be a crest in early February here. We have some profit taking and a big push to the upside to reach the high. It looks like the low from January carries over into February, so that decline continues. There may be like a slight crest and then more selling, and that slight crest will be, slight crest will be. It'll start when RSI is near overbought, like almost at 80. We have a fast sudden move higher within a period of bullish behavior that marks the end of that period of bullish behavior when we break down through diagonal support line and volatility gets stronger as on our way down. That decline continues into March. We have a notable decline in March, in the early March. And we revisit a significant support level at the end of March. It's an opportunity to buy. It looks like a good opportunity to buy in late March. And we have a move off of the support level at the low to reach a resistance level that we successfully turn into new support. Yeah, definitely a great trade opportunity here in late March. It looks like there's another trade opportunity possibly here around the high of February. All right. Another opportunity around the high here. So the lows for March is probably at the end of the month. And then we have a push higher out of the low. We revisit a crest, do like an M, kind of like an M shape back and forth through, like a erratic behavior back and forth across a price level, a technical level. But there's a strong move higher out of the low, opportunity at the high, and we have kind of like a U-shaped dip around the high. And then we have an M, so that erratic behavior becomes more of like a up across a price level, down through that same price level, up through it, then back down, and it bounced around there somewhere. And that's the late April. All right. So May's looking really juicy for gold. After a sell-off, a profit-taking sell-off in early May from an overbought crest, significantly, so it'll be at like 80 or higher. They're selling off in early May. The highs reached at a very at a distant resistance level. We may even create a new resistance level. I'll be able to determine that stuff in the second portion of this reading where I do the S&P pattern recognition. And we have a resistance, excuse me, we have a support level at the low, another notable support level at the low, but this is somewhere where we do bullish rotation along it, and there may be some positive economic data that comes out around that time, because towards the end of the month we see a big push to the upside, like a very, very big push to the upside. I got to turn this volume down. I'm sorry, guys. That's Hermes. I got him right before Mercury retrograde. Already the coolest dog. All right, so yes, and there's definitely something significant here towards the end. This may be the opportunity that I see here in the theme. This is like pushing out of the low, pushing out of the low. The low of April into a high towards the end of May. Yeah, I'm sensing something strong over here, guys. I'm sensing something really strong here in the end of May near the high. We also have the completion card here in June. A completion card marks the end of a bullish trend. We have in early June we have a bumping up against a resistance level. There's a significant move along a support level, and that support level likely happens towards the end of the month where we have a sharp decline. It's a failure. One of the strongest sharp declines. So we'll break through multiple support levels in the end of June. And we have July, that's early July, late July, July's high, July's low. So early July we have a notable move higher along a diagonal trend line. We break through a resistance level, meet a second resistance level before we pull back somewhere between the first and the second price levels that we met. The low for July is at an important technical level that the science card will likely be when doing monthlies for gold. The science card will likely be a prominent price level significator that we visit. So when we see the price level or we see the card for science, we likely will see the same price levels. That's how a price level significator works. And yes, there we go, guys. Okay, so the high that we have over here towards the end of May into early June, we do not revisit that high within the time frame of the reading. If it's the same level here in July, we will not revisit that price level again throughout the rest of 2022. And then we have a decline. So what we have around the high is a sharp decline off of a peak or a crest through multiple support levels. And we don't revisit that price level that we fell from again within the time frame here. And then we have a decline. That decline takes us in the end of the month. We're bouncing along a resistance level or a support level. So we break down, we decline, and then we hit a support level, and we kind of bounce along that towards the end of July. Excuse me. August. Oh, I saw that bottom card, guys, so I'm gonna use that. I mean, I didn't see it, but I saw that I saw colors, so I used it. I know you guys like to see me talk while I put the cards down, but it's actually better for interpretation purposes to see like the whole thing. But we have, yes, we are in early August. We're range bound. That maybe looks to me like probably the bottom of a range. There's an important decision made between two leaders that affects the population dramatically. I'm going to add a card here. There's a big push out of that range to reach the high involving that decision, and then there's a flight to safety. So the low for August, it's formed after a very notable decline within a period of price swings, and there's a flight to safety towards the end of August. So big push higher, flight to safety. So this oppression card, likely we hit the upper end of a range. And remember, we're not going to revisit this level, right? We're not going to revisit that level, so keep that in mind. It helps to read other cards. All right, now in early September, we have a breakdown through a support level to meet a second support level. We bounce along that support level before breaking down through that support level and multiple support levels after that. There's a high, the high for September forms where we have 3 pokes through the same price level, attempting to break through it, and then on the third failed attempt, we have a sharp decline. And there's an opportunity in the end of September to position myself on both sides of the market. So I'll do option spreads, or I'll buy puts to protect against long equities. If I have like GLD, or I'm trading options for GLD or one of the other ETFs, This may very well be an opportunity. Yes, this is a low. This is a year's low right here, guys. Looks to me like this is a year's low right here towards the end of the month. And we have a big push, even with in the face of multiple headwinds that would make you think makes everybody think it's going down. It pushes higher, possibly even breaks the resistance levels. And this is at the end of the month, very likely at least one of, if not it's one of the major lows for the year. We'll see the full picture with SO Meta in the second portion. All right, so a failed attempt to break a resistance level, followed by a decline through a notable support level in early October. Yeah, so there's a trade opportunity here at a low, right? And then we push higher within volatility, create a new local high, or possibly the same high that we met, but very unlikely. It's most likely a new local high that comes after some notable volatility around the low for for October, and a big push higher at the end of the month based on some positive economic data. And then we have November, the Strife card. So that's a decline. That's a notable decline with spikes up on the way down. Those spikes up are lower high, like they're lower highs and lower lows. And generally with Strife, there's in most cases with Strife, there's the moving averages in bearish mode are acting as resistance levels that the spikes meet, and then we drop further. There's 3 crosses back and forth through the same price level, resistance level, I should say, around the high for November, confirming a bullish trend. Yeah, so early part of the month looks to me like there's an opportunity to sell into that high that we see here, Fortune, the resistance that we're hitting. So around the low for November opportunity, or in November there's an opportunity to sell, meeting the low in November. It's within close proximity to an opportunity. The low for November is in close proximity to an opportunity to short gold. And by proximity, I mean chronologically, time-wise. Look at that. And then we have an opportunity to... Nice. We have an opportunity to open long positions to buy some more gold here, likely at the low here. So we have a high early on, a low, then we push higher. Excuse me, then we fall further. It looks like we have a push higher at the end of November, but we fall further in December to reach a moment where it makes a lot of sense to, if you have short positions gold, to sell that. It'll really look like it's not, like it's going further down or something like that, but that low in December is a great opportunity to sell some short positions. And we have a decline. Interesting. Through multiple resistance levels from the high in December, multiple headwinds involved, possibly as many as 9, and then we have the end of a downtrend here towards the end of the month. So this is a little blurry, but there's an opportunity to short and an opportunity to sell and buy long, or buy back shorts and buy long positions here towards the end of the year of 2020. Trade cards. All right, there we go. So those are the trade cards. Those advise me on what to trade. All right. Trade cards. So one of the trade cards, at least one of the trade cards is going to have to do with, it's going to have something to do with Congress creating a decline of sorts. I'm going to put this back. It just feels right over here. There's a blend. So there's a decline that involves Congress. Let's take another one out for here. Involving Congress, there's at least one trade opportunity in the air that involves that. There's a sideways S within a decline, so a decline, an incline, and then another decline, a decline, an incline, and then another decline between a resistance and the support level. That would be another milestone trade opportunity. Then we have a sharp decline, a sharp dip, I should say, within a period of increased volatility. Legislation and a female leader may be involved here, as well as female leader possibly here. And then the final card that we have, trade advisement. At least one of the trades for the year will be within the. It'll be involving a very big move to the upside, likely, and that you can see that we have that correspondence there. This is a big deal. These will likely all connect to each other when we get into ESOMeta. Pattern recognition in the second portion, guys. But there you have it. That's gold for 2022. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this helps. Let me know how it pans out. I mean, we review all this stuff and post it. Doesn't matter if it's bad or good. We hold ourselves accountable. Because the point of this for me is not to make money. The point of this is to prove that you can do anything you set your mind to. Everybody pays attention to the stock market, right? So guys, gold is going to take off this year. Like huge, big move, breakout. Yeah, major opportunity here in a fast, sudden move higher, guys. There looks like a major opportunity for a fast, sudden move higher in gold in the year 2022 takes place roughly around let's say May, June. Yeah, so there's a major opportunity here, guys, involving the theme, involving the year's high for gold. And then we have another big trade opportunity towards the end of the year. There may be some other ones, but I'll be able to determine that when I do the S&P portion where we do pattern recognition. This pattern recognition, nobody else has it. It took me 20 years to figure out. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars lost through trial and error, figuring this out over the last 22 years. But after, I don't know, like 15 years, it started to click, guys. So check it out. The S&P portion we post to the site. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's not. Generally speaking, it's free, but you know, sometimes. In any case, guys, check it out. There's lots of other stuff going on, and let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know how this thing went for you. Love you guys. I'll see you all later. I got that puppy in here. All right, looks like we're good.